Okay, so here we go. This is the opal as it's been cut down so far. I'm going to dunk it in some water here. And let's take a look at it. So I'm going to go from different angles. It'll be a little bit shaky, but there we go. Get a close-up. Change the angle a bit. Close up there. So the next step for this will be to mount the opal on a piece of wood dowel. It's called a Dopp Stick. And probably cement the dowel onto this flat right here. See if we can get the focus in. Put it down. Well, now I can't quite see through the video where that flat is. There it is. So this side my thumb's touching. So that'll be the side, and I'll use cyanacrylate glue or CA glue to glue it on. Now, with a lot of opals, you'll see Dopp sticks are attached with wax, but these opals are not good with heat. So melting the wax and then attaching it has often caused the stone to crack. I've learned that from experience. Now I use CA glue. And then when I'm ready to detach the stone, I just use a small saw and saw the dowel off, and then sand the rest of the wood and glue off the stone. All right, so there we are. So next step, Dopp Stick. It is about a day later, and the stone has turned into kind of a milky white. Still shines some color through it. So that's what it looks like as the water's starting to evaporate out of the stone. And it's a porous stone, so this is why that happens. All right, so the next thing we're going to do here is pick out a Dopp Stick. Now I have waxed versions, and I have clean tips, like this one. Actually, a better example would be one of these. There we go. Pull that out. And I'll be using cyanacrylate glue to attach the stone to the tip of this dowel. So it's actually a perfect size. Now a dowel allows, let me show some samples here. Okay, so these are some rough stones. See if we can get that, there we go, that I've been working on. And these are attached with the wax. Now, the problem I was having is the heating up the wax and attaching it to the stone was cracking a lot of my stones. So that's not a good idea. So these guys here, it's a different batch. Let's pick one out. This one here is glued on with cyanacrylate glue, or CA glue. That's what we call it. So it's on there pretty nice. And the Dopp Stick gives you leverage. You're able to maneuver as you're sanding. You can roll it and thus do a curved section. You can roll it this way. You can twirl it like this while you're sanding, and that'll smooth out edges. or you can maintain a faceted look. I prefer smooth edges myself, so that's what I'll be doing. So anyway, that's the next step, is to attach that Dopp stick right there to the rock we were just working on. It's been a couple of days, and the stone has had a chance to dry out. So let's take a quick look at it. All right, so this is the face we're going to glue the Dopp stick onto. So as you can see, the stone is not exactly transparent right now, and that's because it was cut using a rough grit. There's a lot of scratches, all parallel scratches, that are bending the light or diffracting the light away. That right there is a natural break in the stone. You can see the color inside. All right, so I'm going to introduce something new here that I haven't done before, which is I'm going to use some modeling clay. And push the stone into the clay to hold it steady while I glue the wooden Dopp stick onto the stone. Now I'm going to be using cyanoacrylate glue, otherwise known as CA glue. This is Insecure Plus. It's a thicker version. And then my trusty, really old bottle of Instaset here. I just keep refilling these, so no need to buy a new one when I could just refill this one. So, all right, so that's what we have. And I have the penny there just for size comparison. So I'm going to prepare the modeling clay as a bed to put the stone into. And I'm going to do that this time to hold that stone steady. Have a real problem trying to hold the stone and the stick and glue or use the spray, which sets the glue. So, yeah. So I'm going to use the clay as an extra hand. Now I have the clay bed prepared. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the stone here. Okay, identifying the surface I want facing up. And I'm going to go ahead and press that in to the clay. There we go. That should be close enough. All right, so now take a little bit of CA glue and put it on the stick like that. And then I'm going to use the stick to apply that to the stone there. And then, oops, pop that bubble. There we go, there's a little bit more. Set that aside, grab my accelerator. Okay, so I'm going to spray. There we go. Now just hold everything steady for a few seconds. Okay. I'm going to let that cure up for a few minutes before I move it. But it looks like using the clay was very successful. That was much easier than the last time I did this.